Most people don't realize how much their personal information is being bought and sold every day. Data brokers are making billions, pulling details about you from public records and the internet, and then packaging and selling it, usually without your consent. That's how your information lands in the hands of scammers, spammers, even stalkers. It's why you get endless robocalls and why ads seem to follow you everywhere. That's where Aura comes in. Aura actively removes your data from broker sites and keeps it off. They also instantly alert you if your information shows up in a breach or on the dark web. But Aura goes beyond data protection. With one app, you get a VPN, antivirus, password manager, spam call protection, dark web monitoring, and even up to $5 million in identity theft insurance, all backed by 24/7 US-based fraud support. Other companies might sell just credit monitoring or just a VPN. Aura gives you all of it, together, at the same price competitors charge for just one service. Start your free trial today at aura.com/remove. Protect yourself now at aura.com/remove.
Okay, now I gotta not run over people.
Oh, why? That would be good.
Yeah, let's go ahead and let's just squish them all. Squish them all! Squish them all, let God sort them out. Isn't that the thing?
What? Yes, squib.
This podcast is part of the Neverland Network, where faith meets video games, movies, and fun. Find more shows like this at neverlandpodcast.com.
From days long ago, from uncharted regions of the universe, comes a legend.
The dream that came through a million years, that lived on through all the tears.
It came here, the Fandom Nexus.
Fabulous secret powers were revealed to our host as he plugged in his microphone.
I have a podcast!
Here he is, your Spider-Pan, Jeremy.
Hello! Yes, back for another week, and hopefully without that cough. I think I finally got past it. It has not jumped up on me in a while, and I really hope that's true because the drink that I was drinking as I was preparing is empty. I have a leftover bit of drink from my second viewing of Masters of the Universe in theaters, and that's, of course, what our main topic is going to be today. I'll have a full review, some information about the production of the film, all coming up later in the show. And, of course, this is going to be a great tie-in. We haven't recorded it yet, but Philip and I need to get together and watch the 1987 Masters of the Universe for watching movies with my pastor. So these two episodes will hopefully go together, and you will enjoy both of them, I do hope. But overall, the other thing is, I should have been paying attention to this. Summer Games Fest has been happening this weekend, and so there's been a lot of game announcements, and so we're going to talk about those, including one that, of course, I've been waiting for a few years now. And some stuff that I was like, oh, I wonder if they were ever going to do that. And it turns out, yes, they're doing that. So a lot of stuff with Summer Games Fest to kind of go over and talk fast, talk about. I don't have a whole lot of information on everything. I did try to sit and watch when I realized it was on live and review some of the stuff, but there's definitely something that caught my eye. But that is my plan today. So a lot of new games coming out, a review of the Masters of the Universe 2026 film, and a lot of just fun together like usual. So let's go ahead and just get ourselves started, shall we? I think my music's almost done. I kind of want to let it go. Are we enjoying the music? It's a pretty happening little tune, though, isn't it? There we go. Alrighty, so I feel like I just want to jump into it because normally you go, talk about what I've been watching this week and what I've been playing. I don't know that there's anything significant that I have been watching this week that I can think of. But what I've been playing, I did get a chance to get a copy of the new Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight game, and I've started playing on it, and I'm having a grand old time with it because, well, of course, it's a Lego game, and those are usually fun. And this one has so many little Easter eggs and so many nods to so many different bits of the lore of Batman between films and some comic book. So far where I'm at, there's been a lot of nods to Batman Begins, and even the Batman Year One has had some scenes that have popped up in it. There's different costumes from the Batman, the more recent films, and there's been a little bit of stuff I've come across that have been similar to that. It's just been great. I'm still in like chapter 1. There was a prologue, and there's a chapter 1 that I'm in the middle of right now. once you get into chapter 1, it becomes kind of an open world. There's a lot of side things to try to do and things to collect and little puzzles to solve, and some things that you can't do until you maybe get a certain gadget, as I'm kind of noting. The one thing that is bugging me, I'll be trying to do a mission, trying to drive to a location, and these are worth looking into, but a random crime will happen, kind of like the old Spider-Man 2 game and stuff like that, or even the Spider-Man games. And it's a little too often that a crime, because you're listening to a police scanner in the Batmobile, and a crime will be going, and I'm like, I'm kind of almost at my objective. It's like, oh, I kind of feel bad if I don't go prevent a crime. But preventing a crime does unlock a lot of studs. And there is an achievement for getting 1 million studs. And you use these also apparently to purchase and unlock things, which I haven't gotten to the point of doing that. I have unlocked some things, fine-tuning the gadgets inside the Batcave. It's a slow development. There's a lot of development and growing for your gadgets and for your Batman and unlocking different costumes, unlocking different Batmobiles, that kind of thing. But it's an exercise in patience, because I know I'm supposed to be able to spend my studs on something, but so far I haven't had anything where I can spend my studs. But I have spent some items that I've collected. There's like these Wayne Tech parts that you collect, and those are what you use to update your gadgets and everything. But overall, I'm having some fun. There has been times where I get hit by somebody that's not on screen. Don't like that. There's a little bit of adjustment maybe to the camera that needs to happen. Maybe they'll fix something in that. I don't know. But yeah, definitely worth it. It's definitely fun. Having a great time, and you can play 2 players. They always find a way to have somebody else with you. So you're playing as Batman. And I've had Talia al Ghul with me. I've had Jim Gordon with me so far. And I figure at some point you'll probably get Robin with you, maybe Catwoman on your side, stuff like that. So, yeah, overall, pretty fun game. But let's just get straight to it, shall we?
Spanning the Disney and Geek universe to bring you the best in comics, toys, movies, and entertainment. This is news from around Neverland.
All right, so as I mentioned, Summer Games Fest 2026, the showcase was on Friday, and that's where a lot of the major announcements. There's been an Xbox Day going on, I think, even today, and I don't know if PlayStation had their own day. I haven't really looked. But let me just run through a list of things that we got announced. Resident Evil Veronica, which we were expecting that, like a remake of Code Veronica. Looks like they're doing something a little different. That's expected to launch sometime next year, 2027. And this trailer showed Claire in a first-person perspective, and she's in Paris and talking to like a landlady for where her brother Chris has been staying. So they might have doing a different take on how this is going to be presented. Might be like a first person type of thing. I don't know. I've never been able to beat Code Veronica. I always run out of bullets, and it never seems to work out for me. Studio MDHR has announced 2 new games, Mighty Cuphead Adventure and a Cuphead sequel. The first game announced is a full sequel to the original Cuphead, though it didn't get any details. And then the Mighty Cuphead Adventure is a spin-off that goes from the hand-drawn Steamboat Willie aesthetic for something a bit more modern. It's going to evoke some old school Sonic the Hedgehog aesthetics, apparently. This, of course, I'm following up with this from Game Informer's website. There's no word on when that's going to launch. Something else that kind of surprised me. I kind of expected something like this would come along, but we did get Alien Isolation 2 without a release date, but it is coming to PlayStation and Xbox and Nintendo Switch, and of course the PC, the Nintendo Switch 2, I might add. Gen Atlas, which is from the director of Ico and Shadow of the Colossus, has a trailer that has popped up online, but no release date. That's due on a PlayStation 5 and Xbox. We got something called Blood Message. It's very similar, I guess, from the feel of it, very like God of War and The Last of Us. No release date given. Expected to come to consoles and PC. We got Hex. HAEX is a co-op survival shooter set in Nordic wilderness. No release date, but it is planned to come to PC. Something called Stranger Than Heaven coming to Xbox with Tupac in there. Yeah, that's strange enough. Coming on January 15th for PlayStation 5 and Xbox and PC. And it says Tupac is really in the game alongside Snoop Dogg and a slew of other celebrity names. We also got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin. This, of course, is coming from Platinum Games. There's seems like back and forth on whether or not this game was going to happen. It looks like it's definitely on track. There was talk even, I think, of a movie based off The Last Ronin, but I don't know that is actually still happening. So, but Platinum Games has done stuff like Bayonetta, Nier Automata, that kind of thing. We also got this weird kind of looking thing, an extremely hard game, which you're controlling two ducks as a co-op game. You're trying to bring their egg across all manner of obstacles and get it home safely. Puzzles, platforms, obstacles, surely there's a won't in any fights, coming July 24th. We've also got Crossfire. That's No Moon. It's that I think that's the developer, but it's supposed to be a cover shooter coming to mainly consoles and PC. We've also got Control Resonant. Where they had a world premiere trailer, which we've kind of known it was coming. It's coming to September 24th. This is the sequel to Control. Guild Wars 3 is coming on PS5 and for PC. Now, I don't know if I can connect it to any of my accounts I have with Guild Wars or Guild Wars 2. I haven't really finished any of those, but I might pick up on Guild Wars 3. Who knows? Gundam Rogue Orbit, for those of you who are a fan of Gundams, coming to consoles and PC. Star Wars Galactic Racer, we kind of knew about that. It's coming October 6th. I guess I haven't talked about it on the show, but it's pod racing, but it looks like it's got a lot of other different type of vehicles you can race with. We've got a new addition to the Virtua Fighter franchise with a heck of a lot of language. It's coming in 2027. It's adding a lot more story to the game. RuneScape Dragon Wilds coming September 15th, 2026 to consoles and PC. We've got 1666 Amsterdam. This is from the creator of the original Assassin's Creed. It's a witchcraft type of thing. I'm not sure what it is. There's like a 30-minute prologue experience. Saw Genesis, because we needed another game in the Saw franchise, and this is coming from Bloober Team, who's kind of making a name for themselves making horror games. Lords of the Fallen 2 is coming along. We've got Blood of the Dawnwalker. Sorry, some sort of a vampire game. It was a little confusing on what's going on. That's coming September 3rd. Star Wars Zero Company. I'm not sure what you would call this. This is more of a strategy game. It looks like XCOM type of thing. There's a Marvel game in the same style, but it's a Star Wars game, and you have different types of character classes and even Anakin Skywalker. It's coming August 27th for consoles and PC. There's some sort of new game on the Among Us franchise, and also apparently a show that is available to view. Also got a Monster Hunter Wilds Ascendance expansion. Hot Wheels Infinite Rush. I guess that's a sequel to the previous Hot Wheels game. September 24th, that is coming onto consoles. Attack on Titan 3. This one they're talking about, it's I guess this will be like the third season of the game, because I guess the Attack on Titan games are covering mainly the story of the anime, and I figure there's probably a manga to this as well. I haven't watched or read any of it. A sequel to The Wolf Among Us was announced, plus they've remastered the original The Wolf Among Us. I've never played it. It's kind of an interesting thing. It's kind of a gritty thing. I guess there's a comic book of this, and the Big Bad Wolf is now the sheriff in town, and they're all these fairy tale characters taking human forms. We've also found out that Tifa is coming in early 2027 to Street Fighter 6. There's been a lot of rumor about this in some Final Fantasy groups that I've been a part of, talking about that. We've got Stellar Blade Blood Rain. This is coming on with a new protagonist named Eevee using a sword. And something else I wanted to announce, and it's part of the trailer park. And so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just jump over there.
Mama, another gator got in the house.
Another gator? Give me that shovel. Come here.
Get him, Mom. Get that gator.
The Neverland Trailer Park.
Long ago, a shadow fell upon our planet. Guided by calamity, one man sought dominion through reunion. By his will, a star fell. A meteor called forth to bring ruin to all. But our planet answered, awakening mighty weapons to stand against this celestial threat. Now, hope endures in those who fight.
Long story short, the world's in trouble. It has been for a while. So what are we waiting for? Let's give Sephiroth the beating of a lifetime. You're mine. I'll make this quick. Good night.
The sky's the limit!
I can do this. I'll make you proud.
Just ain't your day.
Oh my, is that a weapon I see?
Far as I can tell, these things don't distinguish between friend and foe.
Save the planet by killing her protectors. Let us put your faith to the test, Cloud.
So Final Fantasy VII Revelation, the third part in the remake trilogy. And I was so happy that they
never would have made
announced
it this far without you guys. And I won't let you down. I promise.
Spring 2027.
At last, the promise is fulfilled.
On all platforms.
The journey ends here.
And so now they're announcing that like all three are going to be out there, and two of them are currently on sale for everything because the remake and rebirth are completely out there. All right. Wow. Looks like 3 days ago there was an Ice Age Boiling Point official teaser, but I don't know that I want to even look at that. Disney's making it this time because it's not just a Fox property, but that just popped up, and they ran that into the ground really badly, and I am really not interested. Here's something that I've never played any of the Spyro games, but there's Spyro A Realm Beyond, and there's a cinematic announce trailer that came out about 6 hours ago. Let's hit that one. Well, nobody's talking during this. It's just kind of showing some stuff. So this doesn't really tell you a whole lot. So it says, take flight on a brand new adventure through a strange and wondrous realm. As Spyro finds himself stranded, his journey to discover his way home is interrupted by the arrival of a vicious invading force known as the Scavs. Spyro must make new allies and rise to protect this realm before it's changed forever. Feel the freedom of flight as you soar above vibrant landscapes. Yeah, spring 2027 looks like he's flying. I think he could fly short distances in the other games, but this is full on. Off he goes. Apparently, we've also got announced Persona 6 is coming. I have a copy of Persona 5 because I was hearing for a long time that I needed to play it, and it's sitting there in my backlog.
He-Man and the Masters of the Universe will be back right after these messages.
Most people don't realize how much their personal information is being bought and sold every day. Data brokers are making billions, pulling details about you from public records and the internet, and then packaging and selling it, usually without your consent. That's how your information lands in the hands of scammers, spammers, even stalkers. It's why you get endless robocalls and why ads seem to follow you everywhere. That's where Aura comes in. Aura actively removes your data from broker sites and keeps it off. They also instantly alert you if your information shows up in a breach or on the dark web. But Aura goes beyond data protection. With one app, you get a VPN, antivirus, password manager, spam call protection, dark web monitoring, and even up to $5 million in identity theft insurance. All backed by 24/7 US-based fraud support. Other companies might sell just credit monitoring or just a VPN. Aura gives you all of it, together, at the same price competitors charge for just one service. Start your free trial today at aura.com/remove. Protect yourself now at aura.com/remove.
Are you a fan of Adventures in Odyssey, Lamplighter Theater, or Jonathan Park? Want to join other fans for discussions or behind-the-scenes info about these shows? Or maybe you're looking for more great audio drama to listen to with your family. Do you enjoy hearing exclusive interviews with the cast and crew of your favorite shows? then Audio Theater Central is the podcast for you. I'm JD Sutter. Since 2010, Audio Theater Central has been exploring the family-friendly audio drama world through news, reviews, and interviews. Join me and a rotating cast of co-hosts each month for another episode featuring the latest updates, in-depth reviews of new releases, and conversations with the actors, writers, directors, sound designers, and composers who create your favorite audio dramas. And maybe we'll introduce you to some great shows you've never heard of before. Find us at audiotheatercentral.com or in your favorite podcast app. That's audiotheatercentral.com.
And now back to He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
Well, there was other games announced, but I think that's enough of those for now. It's time for...
Want to see a movie?
Yeah, any good?
It was bad? I'm fuzzy on the whole good-bad thing.
My eyeballs could have been sucked from their sockets.
I like it a lot.
The best movie ever made.
A Fandom Nexus movie review.
So the original Masters of the Universe toy line debuted in 1982, it says, but I think that was, I think it was closer to 1981, but I guess, 82, I think was the toy line, and 83 was the Filmation series. And it became Mattel's biggest success, one of the biggest successes next to like stuff like Barbie. There was a cartoon that really made it icons in the pop culture because the cartoon is what kind of brought story to everybody, because I was familiar that I knew it existed, but I didn't understand like there was, there wasn't a whole lot of fully developed story. So in 1987, we did get a film with Dolph Lundgren and Frank Langella. And so now this is, we got another shot at it here. A 2026 film which has been in development probably like 17 years, I believe, that's kind of been in development and just been a mess. Finally, now it's here. And this is actually one of the longest development cycles in modern Hollywood. And the rights have been passing around between Warner Brothers and Sony Pictures and Netflix and Amazon MGM Studios, who finally got something going. And at one point, Netflix reportedly spent tens of millions developing its own version before they canceled the project. And Amazon MGM ultimately revived it and moved forward with a new creative team and director Travis Knight, who you might know from Bumblebee and Kubo and the Two Strings. And really, this Bumblebee was good. It balances the nostalgia with some modern storytelling. So he's a pretty good choice for doing this. This, of course, has Nicholas Galitzine as Prince Adam He-Man, Camila Mendez as Tila, Idris Elba as Duncan Man-at-Arms, Morena Baccarin as the Sorceress, James Purefoy as King Randor, Charlotte Riley as Queen Marlena, and Kristen Wiig as Roboto. Jared Leto, of course, Leto, I need to say his name better. Jared Leto as Skeletor, Alison Brie as Evelyn, and a guy whose name I can't pronounce, Bjornsson. He's very much European North. He was Goatman as Sam C. Wilson as Trapjaw, and a lot of other characters. They had a lot of villains that you see in the film, but they don't always have like good prominent things other than being in a battle. So Nicholas Galitzine, I'm probably messing his up, but he's said that although he wasn't part of the original generation that grew up with the toys, he quickly connected with Prince Adam and the responsibility the character carries. The role requires extensive physical training to portray the legendary hero convincingly. Promotional featurettes focus heavily on his transformation into He-Man and demanding preparation required. This is all from Reuters. Idris Elba was already a fan. He grew up during the height of He-Man's popularity and has spoken about how excited he was to finally join the franchise. That's also from Reuters. One particularly touching behind-the-scenes story is that original He-Man actor Dolph Lundgren publicly praised Galitzine's performance and welcomed a new generation taking over the franchise. This is from the Times of India. There was carried a budget of about 170 million to around 200 million. One of the largest fantasy productions ever based on a toy property. That's from Wikipedia, so take that with a grain of salt. Filming took place primarily in London during the first half of 2025. Visual effects work was handled by major studios, including Industrial Light and Magic, DNEG, Cinesite, and Rodeo Effects, according to Wikipedia. One of the goals, of course, was avoiding some generic fantasy in the look of things. So they went some bright colors, some over-the-top character designs, some large fantasy landscapes, and classic Eternian weapons and armors. And it feels a lot closer to the toy line in the animated series because of it. They really did use the Filmation to base things on. We got a score composed by Daniel Pemberton, who is known for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and The Bad Guys. And then, of course, Brian May of Queen contributed guitar work onto the soundtrack, and it sounds fantastic. So far, it's been receiving a lot of praise for a lot of its things, as we're going to get into later. There are some sequel teases that I'm not going to get into, but this has been quite an intense process of getting it out there and people deciding whether or not they want to see it. Everybody is like, there's conflicting message stuff. There's people who was complaining that it didn't take it seriously enough. Well, the 1987 took it maybe too seriously, and they fumbled a little bit. I still kind of like the 87 one. It's still, I still can have some fun watching it. But this definitely was a lot better than the 87 one. But there are people who'll try, if they want to find something to complain about, they will. And really overall, well, I guess you'll just hear our review. I've got audio of that. Let me just play that for you now. By the way, we recorded this in my car coming back with me and Pastor Philip and my wife Heather, and then our friend Seth, who he's a very quiet man. So, but here we go. Now I'm going to play the audio. Okay, so for Philip and I, this is our second viewing, and it's even better the second time. Especially since I got to see the scene that I missed from going to the bathroom, because I went to the bathroom at a different time this time. But so in the back row, we have my wife Heather, and we have our friend Seth. What did you two think?
Fun.
It was fun, yeah.
That's all the thoughts you have. It was fun.
They don't talk as much as me.
Yeah, as we do.
Yes.
And the only thing I could see as being an overall kind of hidden commentary that someone could look at as the basically a bit of feminism from Roboto, and I think that's why they have a female voice, because she's got kind of her story arc is like, I'm being used to cook and clean and everything, and I should be a warrior and that kind of thing. And like, you're holding back my power, and you had the power to give it to me the entire time.
Oh, I didn't get that from it.
Yeah, I kind of got that. It's like, yeah, I see that's kind of there. That's the only reason I think that they have Roboto gender swap.
I think if you try, you could find that in almost anything. I'm not saying always, but some people do try that in different movies and all. I personally liked it a lot because it reminds me of the cartoon.
It wasn't done badly, though, for once.
So here's my take on it as the woman, okay? I personally thought that it was kind of like, Duncan kind of like, well, there's no need for war anymore, like as part of his failure, like he's shutting down everything. So that's kind of the way that I took it, and genuinely like, yeah, you tried to shoot me, kind of thing, as an excuse, but I did not take away a feminine feminism thing from it. So
yeah, but it was kind of there, but they were gentle about it, so they didn't make it a bad thing. They did it more with, I think, a bit more grace, a bit more sense of humor about it, because overall they try to go back to some of what could be masculinity unchecked, where I guess it would be quote unquote toxic or whatever. Where, because even at one point, we're going to be a little spoiler thing, but there is a moment where Adam's trying to do the right thing, but he kind of lets his anger get the best of him a little bit, and some bad things kind of happen, and he's kind of learning who he is, even with the power. It's not about necessarily being stronger, it's using it properly, and he gets lessons, and I think the greatest lessons, even when Duncan tells him, it's like, no, it's not about fighting the enemies, it's about protecting the people you care about. And he looks over at Tila, like making sure that she has a future where maybe she doesn't have to fight stuff, So,
I do like that the character finds out that even though he failed, doesn't mean you quit fighting.
Yeah.
You fight in a different way, so to speak.
And I like the growth arc, because even though he's the one that tells Adam, so, well, when you fall, it's our chance to stand tall, that he even forgets that in his level of failure. So he's not infallible. He's like, he's got all these platitudes, but he's got to stand on the things that he teaches.
Yeah.
I kind of like that, because he never expected to fail. He's never faced a failure like that, because he's never had to deal with Trapjaw. Which they did such a good job with Trapjaw.
Yeah, he did. That was really great.
Yeah,
Beastman was great too.
Yes, I love how some of the top ones at least get their moment to shine, but a lot of the villains they're just there for you to see them and be like, oh, I remember Spikor, and oh, I remember this guy, but they really don't have many lines. Tricor has like one line, or Triclops.
Well, he has a couple.
Tricor is insurance. Yeah, he's got like one or two lines there at the beginning. He's just like, yeah, I've spotted them.
I like
brought the sword back.
I like how one of his eyes gets taken out.
Yeah,
but
I still got two others.
Got a couple others.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you don't need that. No, but it's pretty cool. I do like it. I like how they used them.
Yeah, they did a really good job actually with everybody.
They didn't always use his eyes, even in the cartoon. Which, to be fair, his eyes didn't always do that much. Basically, Triclops was a way to make many faces. I'm talking about in the cartoon, to make many faces. And actually, I meant to say the toy. because the toy and the cartoon started coming out around the same time. The toy came out first of those. It was like line 2. But by the time the cartoon came out, the toys were already out.
Yeah.
So they started trying to make basically almost the different attitudes and personalities, because that's how mini-faces work. They almost did that with Trico, even though it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. That is pretty much how they did it.
The mini comic is a little bit like that. He has like different personalities for different eyeballs.
Yeah, because one was mad.
Because he was a mercenary. He wasn't really like one of Skeletor's goons. He was, he was
almost a Boba Fett type.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, that's pretty much what. Now, and same in Mini Faces, he wasn't always around.
Yeah.
But when he did come around, he was always a lot of fun. In fact, the first time we see him, and I'm talking about the cartoon now, not the comic book.
I'd love to see him in another movie.
Yeah, me too. I'm sure we'll see him at some point. But Mini Faces was supposed to be one who came around with the monster face, and he was insane, and he was kind of crazy. They had to fix him.
Yep, they had to switch him to a different face, and suddenly he's all better.
He's all
gets
better.
A human face. He's all better
now. He's not completely sane.
I would like to see him presented as like a complete shapeshifter, because he's not fooling anybody if you just change your face. He's got the same body. So I'm like, let's utilize this man. Let him be a complete shapeshifter sometime.
I liked in the cartoon how he was switched to Beast Man, Orko, and whoever.
Exactly.
That was fun.
So overall, it's a lot of fun movie, and I appreciate the support of masculinity and what it's supposed to be for. That we can be protectors and everything. And sometimes it's not all about muscle; it's about who you are, which is kind of the lesson of the film. Really, that Adam learns that he might physically, as Adam, not be everything he thinks he's supposed to be, but he's got heart and he cares. And that's what makes him like Superman. Superman has all this ridiculous power, but because he's such a Boy Scout, it's temperance with that power to where he doesn't just dominate everybody with it.
And they've been together before in the comics.
Yeah, they've had to fight each other in the Injustice comics.
And before that even.
The old stuff. Yeah, that's right. They did.
Yep.
Yeah,
and
I do have one criticism. I was disappointed in how much language was in there.
Yeah. Sadly, they do that nowadays as if that's a sense of humor, and I always get called old school or whatever. I don't care. There's no need for that. I saw the sense of humor when they was talking about the cat. Now, I'm not saying I thought that was funny. What I'm saying is I figured the moment they said it, and Jeremy, you cracked me up because I didn't hear what she said because people were talking, not you, but others were talking. The first time they said it, she said it, and I heard you go,
well, that doesn't need to be in there.
No, but the moment she said it, I knew what was coming up next. I knew.
Well, there were a couple of things where it was like sort of hopefully kids didn't catch up on like the double meaning. There was a little wink that I didn't really care for.
Double entendre.
I mean, granted, people have made memes about that kind of thing and those sort of jokes for a long time.
Oh, yeah. So I was watching that Spider-Man Noir where it's about being a detective, and
I need to watch that still.
It's not bad, but the comics they always say about being in private, and they do that always.
Detective.
Yeah, detective. But they've been doing that one forever. They do the same thing on the Dick Tracy movie, and it's constant.
Yeah.
But anyway, I get tired of that. But especially in this case, because I will say one thing that I did really like is that they had their nod to almost every single type of Masters of the Universe He-Man.
Yeah.
In fact, I was watching again this week the Toys That Made Us from Netflix, and I had forgotten that originally it was just going to be called He-Man, but when they went to make the toy, but they thought that it needed something with it, so they was going to call it Lords of Power, and they decided that sounded too. Remember, it was 1982 or 81 when they were starting to make it, but 82 when it came out, and they thought that it sounded too. This the guy who created too religious sounding, and so they decided not to go with that, and they called it Masters of the Universe, which is an old time saying. So was He-Man from usually the 1920s, 30s.
He-Man 40s. Woman haters from our gang.
Yeah, our gang, Little Rascals. They also, and the other thing was originally what was his name, Tokar and then Vicor.
They said in the movie, and when they were trying to narrow it down and figure out what they were doing.
And then they finally decided to make him, because originally they were going to be making a Conan line, and also Lords of Power. I meant to say the New Gods line, and all. They mixed it all together. What was so funny was they were going to go ahead and make him black-haired until the guy who was running it at the time, Mattel, he was blonde. So he said, make him blonde. And so they did. Sure. As a way to him. Yeah, so that's hilarious to me. And plus, it doesn't look as much like Conan that way.
Yeah, so you can differentiate yourself.
Yeah.
So overall, in the film, it's bright, it's colorful, it's very cartoonish. And the thing is, everybody said, wow, that's kind of cheesy and funny. It's like, yeah, but it's just the right amount of cheese to where it's fun, like an Indiana Jones movie. Indiana Jones is a little cheesy, but it's just the right amount to where it's
not
fun.
as cheesy, but see, I give it an A, not an A+. I give it if it was given a lower one, I'd give it a B+. Now, I'm talking about, you got to understand, I am a Masters of the Universe He-Man fanatic and have been. Heck, I watch He-Man at least 2 or 3 times or more a week, the cartoon, and yes, even She-Ra. So
definitely it's a lot of fun. It's everything for fans of the Filmation series or just fans of the toys. Now, the people I've seen complaining are people that they want it to be more like the 2002 Mike Young series that tried to take it seriously. And I have a hard time getting into that show. It's still pretty good, but it's missing some of the magic that was just the old Filmation in the old days of it.
Well, plus,
but it's okay to enjoy that one. I don't still like it, but to realize that it's Filmation and it's not your Mike Young one is no reason to dislike the movie. You should just go with it and have fun with it. And and Jared Leto, for crying out loud, he finally got a role he could do good at.
Yeah.
Let him just revel in the fact that he was an awesome Skeletor. He shocked us. He shocked us.
A few things, but on that, he did amazing.
He was so good as Skeletor. Really the only bit that doesn't land is that first bit. He's like, all right, I'm done laughing. See more fists come down, so I'm done laughing.
It was all right, but
I don't get what the joke of that's supposed to be. It's like, okay, apparently that's supposed to be funny, but I don't get it.
I think it's supposed to be like in the cartoon, and they did it in a couple of spots. They're kind of mocking how the cartoon is just cheesy, where they just be laughing,
which they did at the end of the movie.
Yeah, they did a couple times.
At the end of the movie, there's a bit of a moment that's kind of like the end of the cartoon, where there's something happen, or maybe Orko screws up and everybody just puts their hands in their hips and throws back and laughs.
They did that
they're doing that in the movie, which is awesome.
But they did a lot of fun things.
Yes.
I also caught a couple of the vehicles, and I'm talking about before I even saw the film. I didn't quite recognize them, and they're kind of based off of some of the 1990 stuff. And
it's a little bit of a mix.
Yeah, and so they mixed a lot together, and even like that. What they call the bird-looking ship?
Well, there's the Talon Fighter. That's what Tila's flying. Is the Talon Fighter.
They mixed that with the newer versions too.
And the Sky Sled is there in the back of it, which if you can see on the side, it does have the little symbol, which was like the head that was on there.
Yeah.
And the Sky Sled had 2 different heads, so you could have like an evil version and swap the Hawk head for like this evil looking head.
Yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun for fans of the toys, fans of the Filmation. Even if you like the Mike Young, there's no reason to not just have a good time.
And there's a lot of 1987 movie stuff too.
Yeah, a lot of nonsense. And I've been very quiet about what the cameo, because the special part of that cameo is the last bit, and even the 2-finger gesture that he makes when he says what he says. That's as far as I'm going to say on it.
The other thing
it's perfect.
People say there wasn't anything in the comics. Yes, there was. Goatman was from the comics alone. And they did eventually put him in the 2000s cartoon stuff, but the new cartoon.
Your Kane is a little bit in my way in this.
In the newer cartoon, but Goatman was made for the comics, original comic strip run, and that's where he came from. And Big Boy was from the '87 movie.
Yeah, Big Boy was the little boy who won the contest to get in there.
Isn't that great? He's become part of the lore.
Yeah, so Big Boy's the thing, and Karg has been brought back and then he's taller in this one. And the weird thing is, like, his facial structure, I'm wondering if the guy in the mask, because he looks like one of the main orcs from Lord of the Rings, and I'm wondering if it's not the same actor, and just the shape of his face kind of came out when he's got that mask on. Because I know he looks like one of the ones from the Two Towers. One of the Uruk-hais from there, like one of the main ones who's
speaking another language to me, man.
The Uruk-hai were like the orcs that were grabbed the hobbits and were taking the hobbits to Isengard. They're taking the hobbits to Isengard. Come on, does anybody not watch the memes?
No.
Potatoes. Come on. But yes, that guy there,
no more sugar for you, my friend.
I swear it's the same actor, because his facial structure, the Karga guy, and being the height, he looked like the head Uruk guy a little bit. So I kind of wondered about that.
Could be.
Definitely sugar overload.
No, it's the song. There's two songs.
Yeah, there is.
That's what they are. They took the one line. It's like they're taking Hobbits to Isengard, became a
remix of it.
They remixed the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's like, the Hobbits to Isengard, the Hobbits. I'm pulling this up, brother. You're gonna have to watch this now. I gotta show this to you.
I thought we were doing a He-Man review.
Yeah, but I'm gonna show this to you later. Well, I think of this also owes a lot to Lord of the Rings because even the initial attack on the city of Eternos reminded me a bit of some scenes in Return of the King where they're taking the orcs are taking back what is that city outside of Gondor? But yeah, it looked a lot like that to me. It seemed to have some similarities, except for, of course, the Skeletor Wars, which I would like to have seen them being robots like in the cartoon, but still. And Cringer was adorable. I absolutely love Cringer in this. It just takes way too long before you get to see the full-size Cringer come in.
Well, technically, he's the first thing you see.
Yeah, I mean, you get to see Kitten Cringer, but
no. Before that, you see Cringer.
Oh, you get to see
He replaces Leo.
That's right.
Yeah. I love that.
That was great.
I remember when we first saw it, I kind of cheered when Cringer first came out. I was like, "Yay!"
Years ago, whenever Jeremy and I were sitting there talking about the MGM thing, going to be doing it, and I said to Jeremy, wouldn't it be great if they did the MGM little thing? And Jeremy goes, that would be great. That'd be great. And I was like, oh, that. But then when they did it, that's awesome.
They did it. I love that they managed to keep Cringer's personality. He's like, do we really have to go in here? And then next time I'm wearing armor.
And yet they didn't overdo it, which is good.
They didn't overdo it. They didn't make it too cartoony, but it was just adorable. I want a plush Cringer.
Okay, I should probably remind you all about Dubby. And of course, if you go to neverlandpodcast.com, the home of the Neverland network of podcasts, you'll find everything about Dubby right there. It is, if you happen to need an energy drink, but you do not want to get the jitters, you need some energy to play some video games and something, Dubby has got some drinks, lots of different flavors for you. Just mix it with water, and you can even buy some water bottles if you'd like. And of course, if you use the discount code Neverland or use the link that I have there on my website, I get a little kickback and you get a discount. I do, of course, remind you about also Podgagement. That is Daniel Jane Lewis, the award-winning podcaster. That is his program. If you happen to have a podcast, he's got all the tools you need to succeed. You'll find that link at neverlandpodcast.com. We do, of course, want to thank Karen Kennedy, Ricky Pope of Christian Nerds Unite, and Darren Wilhite of the Wilhite and Wall Show. Please email us, podcast@neverlandpodcast.com. You can also connect with us on x.com at neverlandpcast, or on Facebook. We have the Fandom Nexus. We also have a Facebook group, which is a little bit more interactive, but that's still under Neverland Podcast. Also, the Fandom Gamer on YouTube. Don't forget, you can watch some gameplay footage. Also, I did do a live stream during the State of Play that was earlier this week, which we got to see a good look at the Wolverine game. I believe that was on Monday, but yeah, I have video up of that if you'd like to see that and kind of watch it with me in a weird way, because I'm there on the bottom of the screen kind of watching things and occasionally commenting my thoughts. So that is available to watch. You can, of course, join the Neverlanders on the website, come up with a nickname and everything, become an official Lost Boy or Pixie. And, of course, we have Pixies because girls are too clever and they don't get lost. Don't forget, we do have a Patreon. If this show has been a part of your life over the last 12 to 13 years, you want to help keep this thing going, you want to keep the lights on, $5 a month helps us out a lot. And maybe helps us to do some bigger projects, update some equipment, that kind of thing. It really does help out. So that's Patreon. Also, there's on Red Circle where I host this thing. There, if you look in there, you'll in the show notes there, you'll find where you can become an exclusive member. This is how you can get early access to episodes. Although I'm going to release this one quick as I can because the movie just came out and I want to get going with it. So this one won't necessarily be an early one because I didn't get to watch the movie early. I have not gotten that area of areas, but that area of areas, that's a good one. Yeah, I haven't gotten to that point in life. But you'll get some early access to some episodes. You'll get ad-free. Other than the ads that I read, I won't be cutting off things in the middle and dropping those ads in on there for the Patreon and Red Circle exclusive members, right? So also, if you go and on neverlandpodcast.com, you can see the shop where there are t-shirts available, so you can purchase some different kind of t-shirts and show your love for the show. Also, it's like different slogans and things, and like lots of fun things. I've even got a new one coming out. It's mainly for our church, but some artwork that Philip did today that was really fun that I'm going to be making a shirt of. But you might want, and you can have a thing that's my church logo on the back of your shirt, and you wouldn't mind that, right? Sure. But yeah, that'll be fun. Anyways, let's move on here. So no copyright infringement is intended, and copyright is held by the respective owners. Content is shared for review and commentary purposes under fair use license. And now, get lost in an adventure. Good journey.
Most people don't realize how much their personal information is being bought and sold every day. Data brokers are making billions, pulling details about you from public records and the internet, and then packaging and selling it, usually without your consent. That's how your information lands in the hands of scammers, spammers, even stalkers. It's why you get endless robocalls and why ads seem to follow you everywhere. That's where Aura comes in. Aura actively removes your data from broker sites and keeps it off. They also instantly alert you if your information shows up in a breach or on the dark web. But Aura goes beyond data protection. With one app, you get a VPN, antivirus, password manager, spam call protection, dark web monitoring, and even up to $5 million in identity theft insurance, all backed by 24/7 US-based fraud support. Other companies might sell just credit monitoring or just a VPN. Aura gives you all of it, together, at the same price competitors charge for just one service. Start your free trial today at aura.com/remove. Protect yourself now at aura.com/remove.